So Flow Fields is a large-scale public installation in a public park, applying a grid pattern to an open field with turf paint, embedding vector fields, which are basically lines that move in different directions, giving people the opportunity to move into a perhaps familiar landscape, which would be a public park, and start to engage in a kind of play space or a mind space where they can discover new things, develop new movements, or just observe themselves in a different environment in a different way. A chance to kind of self-reflect on their own behavior, if that's possible. So for instance, you can find, a person could find themselves moving into this large-scale Cartesian grid pattern and start to begin a sort of gameplay where they're either a moving vector on this new landscape, or a game piece, or interacting with other people and repositioning themselves. And even just the mental consideration of that, I think, is important to the work, that people have an opportunity, a moment, to kind of detach themselves from their normal existence and enter into a maybe hidden existence, a hidden structure underneath the normal living experience. In one respect, I see Flow Fields as the kind of universal piece. At the same time, my experiences with working with the CDC over the last 5 years, seeing how science becomes integrated in the community has been an ongoing issue for me. It's one of the surprises for me, having moved to Atlanta, is discovering that one of its biggest scenes is actually its science scene, and we don't really think about it that way. But this work actually comes out of that scene. Flow Fields is kind of an opportunity for science to entertain, so it has that connotation to it. So the way that Flow Fields connects most directly with science is through the concept of behavior. Why do people do things? Why do you take one step toward an addiction or away from an addiction? What sort of either biological, hereditary, environmental issues cause you to take a step in any different direction, and the grouping of those steps is your behavior. And so Flow Fields gives you an opportunity to maybe examine those movements and motions toward intention in a very isolated experience. Not unlike science, it's theoretical. I mean, this is the theory. Does a large-scale grid in a public park give you an opportunity to examine your motivations, your behaviors? Maybe it does.